we're going to go to File, New HTML. This is going to be called CSS for the title. And then we're going to click Create. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a div tag. So we're going to insert div, insert div. I'm in design view right now. I'm in design view. I put my cursor right in here in design view, went to insert div. This is going to be unique. There's only going to be one container, so it's going to be an ID. No, HTML. And then insert, get off of live view, go into design. So the ID is called container. The insert point is, let's do it after start of tag body, just to make sure we're placing it in the right place. I don't want it in the head. I don't want it in outside of the body. So just to make sure, I'm going to do after start of tag body, ID container, and we're going to create a new CSS rule for this. This should say ID CSS or hashtag container. And what we will do for this one is choose where you want the rule to be defined. We'll make this an external style sheet. So we will say new style sheet. And then we will click OK. It's going to ask us where do we want to save the style sheet. We're going to save it in the CSS folder, and we'll call this CSS style. So I'm making sure I'm saving this into the CSS folder. And then click Save. It's giving me a warning because I haven't saved the HTML file yet. It's saying that it's an absolute path. Once we save it, it'll switch it to relative path. So we'll click OK. So in here, I know that I'm going to want the default font family to be a Verdana style font. So I'm going to just pick the Lucida. I'm going to click on background, and for now I'm just going to pick, we're going to get rid of all these background colors, but just so you can like visually see what's going on, I'm going to just pick a background color. It does not matter which one it is. We're going to get rid of it soon. I'm going to go under box. What's the width? 920. Yep, exactly. And the height we had set to 1000, so we'll just put that for right now. I'm going to want this centered in my browser. And so to center the container, I'm going to uncheck the same for all under margin. And I'm going to do auto right and auto left. And then the last thing I'm going to do under positioning is I'm going to set this to relative positioning. So this way, anything inside of my container that requires positioning will go off of the container and not the browser. Right? If I don't do this, if I were to try to position something inside of the container, it would still be based on the browser and not the container.
Does it matter if the top or bottom margins are on the auto too?
You know, I'm not 100% sure. I usually leave it blank. So click OK. Click OK again. And we should have we should have this 920 by 1000 box placed into our file. So we're going to do File, Save, and we're going to save this as index in the CSS folder. We're going to save this as index in our CSS folder. I'm going to hit save. Okay. Now, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to delete this content goes here. And in my insert panel, under HTML, you should see something called navigation. What you want to do is you want to place your cursor so you're inside of here, and then you want to just click on navigation. And we want to put the navigation after start of tag div container, right? Because I want to make sure it's placed inside of the container. Make sense? It's under insert, HTML, and then navigation. So insert after start of tag container. Now we don't need a class or an ID because we're going to take over the nav class the nav tag. So we're going to click on New CSS rule, and up here, see how it says class? We're going to do tag, and the tag we're going to redefine is going to be nav. We're going to choose where the rule will be defined. We're going to choose the CSS style. And then we're going to click OK. So for this, we'll go to background and we'll just give it some kind of background color. Again, really doesn't matter what color it is. We'll go under positioning. We'll set positioning to relative. Width will be 100%. And the height will be 50 pixels. So 100% width, 50 pixels height. We'll click OK, click OK again, and then there's our navigation up there. So let's save this, and we will continue blocking this out on Thursday, and we may need to finish it up Tuesday we get back from spring break. And then when we get back from spring break, I'll be giving you your next project. Alright, so file save. Make sure you save it. You can quit out of both of these for right now. Save CSS styles, yes.